drone shots are in shot right now. John, what do you think of the lovely waterways?
Lovely waterways. Hey, I've got a suggestion for some aerial drone shots a little later, or some scenic shots. Anyway, Jonesy, g'day, good afternoon, good evening, maybe good morning, or good whatever it is, wherever you're listening to us across the big musical world on the World Wide Web. Greetings and welcome to Australian Radio Indie Music Scene Broadcast and Podcast with Dingo and Jonesy. This is episode 7. Is that lucky 7?
Lucky 7, so that's just a 5 and a 2?
Yeah. 5, that's the Roman numerals. There's your 5 and there's your 2. Anyway, geez, it's going to be hard when we get beyond. Something like that. Anyway, if you missed an episode, feel free to go back and watch. Just search Australian Radio Indie on YouTube as we broadcast this show for the first time on Monday. Yes, Monday night at 6 p.m. here on the Central Coast of New South Wales, Australia. It's midnight in Vancouver, Canada. 10 a.m. in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
I've never been there and I don't plan to go.
Oh, and what about 1 a.m. in Chihuahua in Mexico?
Ooh, that sounds like a lovely town.
Yeah, okay. Well, the YouTube. Well, we're going to repeat the show on weekdays at 6 p.m. So, Jonesy, what about the YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube will be on Fridays at midday. There'll be the premiere. And so every Friday at midday, Australian Eastern Daylight Time, out will come the actual podcast on visual on YouTube. So a lot of people enjoy that, actually. It's quite surprising.
Premiere, that sounds pretty fancy. Anyway, if you're watching us on YouTube or listening to a replay, then the time may be a little different. Good afternoon to Vincent listening in Hong Kong. Good evening to Linda listening at Arimba.
We got a local.
We've got a local, and good morning to Don in Seattle. Now, Warren, I know Warren, a muso from the USA, was saying he can't watch the podcasts. Well, he hasn't been able to watch the podcasts due to time constraints, but perhaps by moving them around. But he streams them as an audio on his way to work.
Yeah, lovely. He's in a fantastic band, IC Monkeys.
IC Monkeys, that sounds a bit chilly.
It does. It's you go to YouTube and check out IC Monkeys and you'll see some real freaky film clips.
Okay. So he loved Lachlan Bryan and the Wilds, song I went down from 2 weeks ago. That's a great song. And
very 70s, he said. He said very 70s.
Well, I was just streaming one of my services at home the other day and I'm sitting there and going, oh, yep, new song, you know. And then, Lachlan Bryan's new song came on and I'm thinking, I know that song. I love it when you're listening to a streaming service and actually plays something
modern.
Well, current. And that you go, I interviewed him. Anyway, thanks for the feedback and the creative suggestions of enjoying our program. If you want to shout out to you and or your town, leave a comment and your name and location in the YouTube comments, and we'll be sure to mention you at some point. Maybe you have a suggestion or observation. Don't be shy. Once again, leave us a comment. Thanks for all the positive feedback. This week we have a few interviews and plenty of great music. So, Jonesy, what did you get up to this week? A little birdie told me you took a road trip and rubbed shoulders with the rich and famous.
Well, yeah, it was a great time to be in Byron Bay because was it Zac Efron? His birthday was on, and all these movie stars, or was it? Anyway, A-listers were all hanging around Byron Bay.
What list do you think you and I would be on?
We'd be right down to cattle class.
Cattle class? Yeah, okay.
Anyway, yeah, it was a lovely time hanging out with the boys out of the band, the Odd Collective ALT. They've got some new music coming out. We're recording in Rocking Horse Studios there at Byron, and the wonderful Murray Burns from My Sex. What a lovely guy he is. And I'll tell you what, an ear for a sound. Like the band was playing what they thought was correct, and he just said, no, let's try this. I want you to do this and you to do that. And boy, the sound was over the top.
That's why, I guess that's why you're paying
a producer. Yeah,
that's why you're paying producers and the sound engineers the big dollars. You might go in and say, hey, I want this. And they go, nah. No, anyway.
We got promised a world exclusive when the song comes out.
Oh, that's all right.
So, and Nicole, my friend Nicole and Keith bumped into them. My friend, very loosely.
Loosely.
G'day.
I got his CD.
Yeah.
I should have given it to you, and you could have got him to sign it.
Well, I didn't know anyone's birthday was happening that weekend. Everyone was saying, "Great time to be in town." I go, "Okay, it's a great time always to be in Byron.
You'll have to put up a little. I mean, you'll have to put up a.
I'll show you some
an
pictures
illustration
right now.
of where Byron is.
You'll be watching some pictures of Byron right now, and it's a lovely coastal town just south of that communist state, Queensland.
Jeez.
We can't cross the border.
Okay.
So anyway, that's
as for me, I watched Live with Hayley on Thursday, and Hayley gave us a sneak preview of her new song that's due out for release in a fortnight or so.
Yes, I watched a delay. I watched a repeat on YouTube. So,
okay. Yeah. And then I listened to a local girl who originally hails from Western Australia, Jasmine Atkins. She performed in the Novo Lounge, which is an online performing session. And I might give you some photos. I took some photos of my garden bed as it continues to go feral as latent seeds from the compost bin grow crazy.
You did see the photos that I put in the podcast from number 6, didn't you?
I haven't seen them yet because I guess,
Well, they're them special tomatoes that we got growing down the back.
Oh, no, I haven't got those. Anyway, so what's coming up? We've got some great music and some interviews lined up.
He hasn't got them people. I just edited that video.
No, I haven't got those.
I put a bit of...
I even took some photos of my tomatillo seedlings. They're getting a little bigger.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to them.
Anyway, we've got some rambling stories, maybe a surprise or two. Let's just say the video vault is still ajar from last week. Anyway, with the music festival, with the Tamworth Music Festival cancelled for 2021, artists aren't holding on until January to release new music, and so we're being blessed with lots of new releases, and we'll feature some of them this week. Here's a hint. Both of our guests are big in name, reputation, and stature.
Statue or just big solid country boys?
Well, they're both from the country. They're both big solid country boys.
And we've played one of their music, one of their members' music already, I'm guessing?
Yeah, we have. But before we open the video vault to enjoy, but hang on. Yes. Let's open the video vault.
Which one? Which one?
Yeah, let's open the video vault to enjoy a good old pre-COVID video before we talk to our first artist.
Okay.
Black Skies by Drew McAlister from 2015. I know you love that song.
Great album, yeah.
Great album. And features a theme that is very common for Australian farmers. No rain. Jonesy, let's get it on.
Okay, I got told by the lovely producer, don't go, let's get it on.
Okay, Jonesy.
Yes, let's try something different.
Let's try something different. How about you play that song for me?
That's too polite. Hey, I'll tell you what. Let's play Drew McAlister's Black Sky.
Take it away.
Take it away. I like it.
Sweat dripping from a young man's brow. He's working hard at working it out. Keeps an eye on the sky above, but it never comes. He's raising up a young family, and every morning she makes him coffee. Been waiting for the day when she's had enough, but it never comes. Ain't nothing changed in 100 years. Working hard like his dad and his dad before him. Come what may, he'll be right here. When the rain don't come, ain't gonna stop him. Sun comes up, clouds passing by. Sun goes down and it's still dry. A man's gotta work to survive when he's waiting on a black sky. Every story his dad told him about the droughts that had come before him never seemed quite real, but now that time's come. There ain't a damn thing left to do but carry on and push on through it. Blue skies don't last forever, yeah, it's gonna come. Ain't nothing changed in 100 years. Working hard like his dad and his dad before him. Come what may, he'll be right here. When the rain don't come, ain't gonna stop him. Sun comes up, clouds passing by. Sun goes down and it's still dry. A man's gotta work to survive when he's waiting on a black sky. my dad before me. Come with me, I'll be right here. When the rain don't come, ain't gonna stop me. Sun comes up, clouds passing by. Sun goes down and it's still dry. A man's gotta work to survive. Gotta work to survive. A man's gotta work to survive. When he's waiting on a black sky. Waiting on a black sky.
Well, Jonesy, it's a great song by Drew McAlister.
I've always loved that Black Sky album since 5 years ago, I think it was. It's always been one of my favourites. So, yeah, what are we? We're going to try the magic of the telephone and see who we got on the line.
Yeah, let's press the button and see who we've got there.
Hello, Drew, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, boys. How you going, lads?
Not too bad, not too bad. Jonesy and I, we've just opened up the Video Vault back catalogue and we're watching and sharing with our audience your outstanding video release from Black Sky from 2015. For those people who are listening, make sure you check out the video by Drew McAlister on YouTube.
And check out the album itself. It's a fantastic album.
Thank you, boys. That's great.
Yeah, well, Jonesy and I had a bit of a toss-up, because I thought he liked Black Sky, I liked Summer Slips Away, and I thought,
yeah, well, we'll play that later too.
Yeah, we might play that one. That must have been a fun video to make. Anyway, we're talking to Drew McAlister about his new release, When This Is All Over. Where are you sitting in this big old COVID-restricted world at the moment, Drew?
Mate, we're up at the Blue Mountains. I've been up here for about 10 years now. So we love it up here, mate. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad place to spend your time, I don't think.
Heads up for our audience, the Blue Mountains are a very scenic part of Australia, and when you're allowed to travel again, put the Blue Mountains on your bucket list. It's a very beautiful and dramatic part of Australia. Jonesy, perhaps you can put up some scenic shots of the Blue Mountains for our overseas people.
Yeah, the old Three Sisters, and I tried that walk once, but geez, coming back was a hard one. When you walk.
Oh yeah, my girls did that walk. Oh man, there's a few really big walks in the Blue Mountains, but the one at the Three Sisters, yeah, it's a tough one.
Going down's easy. Well, it's not easy, but going down, you think, I've made it, and then you think, uh-oh.
Now I've got to climb back up again.
That's it.
Yes.
So, Drew McAlister is a household name in Australian country music. Many of our overseas listeners may be asking Drew who, so let's recap briefly on the history of Drew McAlister. Drew is one of Australian country music's most enduring and respected music acts. Drew, you've enjoyed country music community support together with commercial and award success over 15 plus years. You started in music as a youngster. Who are your musical inspirations or role models?
Oh, look, I started sort of singing when I was about 7 years old, I suppose, at school in the choir and things like that. And I guess back then it was probably Aussie rock guys like John Farnham, Noiseworks, it was that kind of thing. I listened to a little bit of country back then, bit of Slim Dusty, Ray Kernigan, but it was more sort of Aussie rock stuff that I sort of started with, and then it sort of went through the years, and I listened to lots of stuff. It was sort of rock, soul, singer-songwriter stuff. But yeah, early on it was definitely the Aussie rock guys.
I think I saw Jimmy Barnes perform at a local gig with Casey, and basically he said, my original love is country music, except I just knew country music wouldn't sell, and he just then proceeded to sing a whole heap of country music. Anyway, in 2000, I guess...
I couldn't picture Jimmy doing a nice little... country song, maybe.
Yeah, it was good.
Maybe he has.
Yeah. So in 2000,
Jimmy's done a lot of that soul stuff too in the past as well. Right. So he's got quite an eclectic ear as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a legend too. He's been around a while, but
anyway, in 2003, Drew, you won the Mayton Talent Search at the Gympie Muster. You won your first golden guitar with Alan Caswell for a vocal collaboration in 2007. After that, you teamed up with Troy Kemp as McAlister Kemp. You won a golden guitar in 2011 for New Talent of the Year. And if that wasn't enough, you then went on and won another 2 golden guitars for APRA Song of the Year and Heritage Song of the Year with Lady of the Land, co-written with Luke O'Shea in 2014. You've got a dedicated fan base, won heaps of other state, national and People's Choice Awards, released multiple albums, enjoyed number one hits, ARIA nominations, toured extensively in Australian headline festivals and supported visiting country music superstars. But my big question is, where do the golden guitars sit at home?
Geez, you make me sound old now. I've done all that. Yeah, look, they're sitting on the mantle in the lounge room. That's where we sit them. And I think we've got another award there, which was the CMC award that Troy and I won a while back. Yeah, so that's where they sit, right in the middle of the lounge room, so we can admire them and give them a polish now and then.
Yeah, nice. It is nice. You've had so much diversity with your early solo album, and then your Black Sky, your McAlister Kemp, and then you're still going strong with some lovely couple of new singles that you just released over the last, was it 12 months? But you got a new one, brand spanking new one coming out very shortly.
Yeah. So can you? Yeah. So can you tell us a story of that's called When This Is All Over. So can you tell our audience about how that song came to be?
So the last three, the third single, so the last couple of singles was Live Young, which is one that I recorded out of Nashville, The Stranger, which is one that I wrote with Mike Carr and Trav Collins, and they were both recorded out of Nashville. And this third one is also recorded out of Nashville, which I wrote with a good friend of mine, Cole Gentles, who's a local guy up here in the Blue Mountains. Fantastic songwriter. We've been writing a lot of songs together. We've just sort of, I guess, when this is all over, it is a COVID song. There's no doubt about that. But it's also about if there's anything in anyone's life that you just want to see a light at the end of the tunnel. That's kind of what this song is saying. And I wanted it to be a tempo song. I wanted an up tempo, sort of fun song, party song, I guess you'd say. That's going to be awesome to play live. Whereas the last two singles, they were more pretty lyric based, I suppose you'd say, and they weren't sort of really fast. So that's it, yeah. So when this is all over, we put together a video for it, which is basically memories of lots of gigs that I've done and lots of people that I got to hang out with. So we sort of pieced it all together. A great mate of mine, Shane, up in Queensland, edited that in for me. And so that's the story of that. And I hope people can sort of take from it, what they can, and maybe if you can give people hope, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's certainly got a great rocking country beat, and I guess the first time you listen to it and you go, oh, that's a COVID song, but in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, people, as you say, are just going to, they're just going to go, that's a great song.
It's a song of hope. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's what I took when I first heard the.
Oh, thank you.
The song.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, when you write these songs, you hope that they've got a lifespan. They hope that they've got, something that people will want to listen to down the track. Same as for me when I said before, listen to the Aussie rock stuff. I mean, I still listen to a lot of those songs when I'm in the car. I mean, stuff that I listened to when I was 16. So I hope, I guess our job as songwriters is to move people, and with this one in particular is to give people hope, but have a bit of fun during the process. So hopefully, years from now, people will still be playing it.
Oh, I still play the Billy Joel song of yours off the...
Do you?
I reckon that's a great song. Anyway.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, well, that's what that song's all about, man. Sitting in the corner of a pub, and the things you see from the stool.
Yeah, so when this is all over, that should be on everyone's driving and listening playlist, and the chorus will be a great anthem for not only months ahead, but years ahead as people come out of lockdown and head back out on holidays and back into the countryside. So COVID restrictions have been tough on musos. So as we come out of COVID lockdowns, if I could wave a magical wand, where would you love to perform next, or who would you love to perform with?
Look, I mean, I'd like to be on a big stage. Groundwater, Denny, Gimpy. I mean, it'd be really cool to get back to those gigs. It seems like a lifetime ago now that I even did those gigs, But look, I'd like to perform with my bandmates. I haven't played with them for so long, and they've all been out of work too. I just want to get back with the guys.
Have you still got the same band from, say, 5 years ago? I remember seeing you at Bonnells Bay. There was a pub out the back of Lake Macquarie, and I don't know if you remember that gig, like the boats.
I'm just trying to think now.
Yeah, they had the boats on the wall. It was a really strange gig. Like, as in, it was packed, and it was for Bonnells Bay.
I do now.
That's the back of
Yes, I do now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was there at that gig. I actually filmed a couple of shots and put that on YouTube. But it's you had
yes.
You had the
Yes, I remember now. I do. Well, those guys. I'm trying to think who the band was then, but I mean, I've got
I know
a few guys.
JC's moved on, I think.
Yeah, he's doing film and stuff now.
Yeah, and the drummer and the bass player were sort of a pair from a local Newcastle band, as I recall.
There was Matty and the guys. They were the Hummingbirds.
Yeah, the Hummingbirds. That's the one.
Yeah, they've gone on to do that stuff. But I use a few guys depending on where I am.
Yeah, nice.
New South Wales, I'll use New South Wales guys, and Queensland, I use Queensland guys. And, it just depends on where we are. But there's about eight blokes that I use now. So I just be really cool to be back on stage, mate, and having some fun with them, you know.
So I see on your website you've hopefully started locking in some dates for next year. You've got to be happy with that. And I know you've got some special musical tours planned next year. Fingers crossed they happen. So I guess if you don't get the overseas ones, you've got your Northern Territory ones happening. So here's hoping.
Yeah, look, here's hoping, man. We're supposed to go to Canada. Troy and I to do an MK run there, just with sort of hosting a tour to Canada. But I'm not sure if it's going to happen. I really hope it does, but we'll see. And I've got a trip to Kakadu. I'm hosting a tour, just me and my girls will come with me, and I'll be playing a bunch of songs over 5 days going on that, which would be really cool because I've never actually been to Kakadu. So I've been all over the place, but I haven't been there. So that should be really good. I'm pretty sure that'll go ahead. We should have lifting of restrictions a fair bit by then, I would say. But then again, nothing surprises me, mate. So, and as far as other gigs go, there's not a lot. Maybe a couple of acoustic things. It's really hard to plan anything with the uncertainty of numbers, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope it bounces back, man. But only time will tell, you know.
So how do people find out more information about Drew McAlister or follow you or follow your music?
So drewmcalistermusic.com. If you go to that, there'll be all the links there that you can look at with Instagram and Spotify and Facebook and all that stuff. So if you just go there and have a look, you can listen to some music. You can look through some videos, videos on there. It's got YouTube links as well. So that's the one to go to.
Okay, we'll put that up for people to click on.
They'll be on all our social media as well.
And musically, have you got what have you got in the pipeline for yourself?
Well, I've written a heap of songs over the COVID the COVID pandemic. So we've got a heap of songs there in the vault. I've been writing with Troy. We've got a heap of songs there. Writing with Cole and a few other people. So basically, we'll get this single out, and then I'll book in with the guys in Nashville for another single to be released. Usually, we give this one, sort of 3 months to do its thing, people to hear it and gravitate to it, and we can do its thing on Spotify. But then we'll always sort of planning to release. I don't see myself doing albums anymore.
Yeah.
I think I was talking to a few people about this. So a lot of those songs just never get heard anymore. So I'm just gonna concentrate on singles. So every three or 4 months is my plan, is to just try and put a single out that way.
Pick up some love that way.
I tell you what, most people I've spoken to over the last 6 months are saying exactly that. That's where they're trying to gravitate.
It's the way it's gone. I mean, you can spend all this time and all this money recording these songs, but reality is they're going to listen to probably something that you put your energy into on Spotify or Apple Play. Push that one song and then move on and then push the next song.
It's a shame because in the old days you used to buy an album and get the album would just involve you, and you'd sort of move past the hit single or the song that the album was based on, and you'd get into the depth of different albums.
I guess as a person who prefers to buy I know it's making me sound old, a CD, because you can put it in your car, and I love looking at the words and who actually wrote them. And who produced it, who engineered it, where was it done, and you just go, because sometimes you're just looking and you go,
the album art.
Yeah, they're all the things that go missing on I guess streaming services. Anyway, we've been talking to Drew McAlister about his brand new single "When This Is All Over." you've just heard, you should head over to your music delivery service and give it and Drew's back catalogue some love and attention. You won't be disappointed. There are some great songs available. Visit his social media, buy some of his music, or sign up to become a member of the Drew crew so you can keep up to date. Drew, thanks for chatting with Australian Radio Indie, and we're looking forward to some more great music from you. Good luck. Bye for now. Stay safe, and I'll get you to introduce your latest single, When This Is All Over.
Thank you, lads. I really appreciate the support. I'm Drew McAlister. This is my new single, When This Is All Over.
And here it is.
Baby, I've been thinking about the things that we're gonna do. This is all over. It's gonna be a road trip, we're going somewhere, me and you. This is all over. It's gonna be one hell of a party and we won't be sober. This is all over. It's all over. We'll be riding out down the road free and wild, making our getaway. Catching every sunset and having no regrets, counting all the miles we made. Yeah, we'll be sitting by a fire, drinking beer and wine, talking about better days when this is all over. It's all over. This is all over. It's all over. Friends and family will get together in my backyard. This is all over. Go watch a band, catch a game underneath those stars. This is all over. It's gonna be one hell of a party and we won't be sober. This is all over. It's all over. Yeah, we'll be riding high down the road free and wild, making our getaway. Catching every sunset and having no regrets, counting all the miles we made. Yeah, we'll be sitting by a fire, drinking beer and wine, talking about better days when this is all over. It's all over. It's all over. They say rough seas, well, they're never gonna last forever. We just gotta hold tight right out stormy weather. We'll be riding out down the road free and wild, making our getaway. Catching every sunset, having no regrets, counting all the miles we made. Yeah, we'll be sitting by a fire, drinking beer and wine, talking about better days when this is all over. It's all over. We'll be riding out down the road free and wild, making our getaway. Catching every sunset, having no regrets, counting all the miles we made. Yeah, we'll be sitting by a fire, drinking beer and wine, talking about better days when this is all over. Yeah, we'll be sitting by a fire, drinking beer and wine, talking about better days when this is all over. It's all over. This is all over. It's all over. Baby, I've been thinking about the things that we're gonna do. This is all over. It's gonna be a road trip, we're going somewhere, me and you. But this is all
Jonesy, that's a great song, isn't it?
Fantastic song, and from a great legend of the music scene. And I'll tell you what, that when you see him live, you don't realise how big the man is.
Well, I said in my intro,
You did say.
I did in my intro, and just so I said, here's a hint who we're going to be talking to. They're big in name, reputation, and stature. So very impressive, both boys on stage. I think the first time I saw them as McAlister Kemp was they were supporting Canadian group down in Oxford Street. My mind had just gone blank. The Walker and O. Anyway, once again, I probably shouldn't have gone to her. Anyway, Drew, thanks for hanging about. McAlister Kemp, tell us about the history of them and the fun you've had.
Yeah, well, basically, 3 Troy and I, we were solo for 20 years before we ever met. So, and then it was just we were doing the Johnny Cash show. I was doing it with Mike Carr and a few of those blokes. And one of the boys left, and then Troy came into the band. So that's how we met. And we started writing songs on the road, in hotel rooms. And then Mike Carr actually suggested, that maybe we should do a duo. And so one thing led to another, and we kept writing songs, and we got to sort of hook up with Adam Brand through a friend of ours, Linda Chamaray. And we opened for Brandy at Hexham Bowling Club, and then things just sort of progressed from there and kept writing more songs. And then we went into Brandy's office one day. We produced the first single, which was Blue Collar Night.
Yep.
And Brandy essentially did it with in the studio with us and Michael Carpenter. And then we released that, and then we went into Brandy's office one day, and he opened a bottle of champagne and said, "What's going on?" And he said, "We just got signed to ABC Records." I said, "What?" So that was the beginning of it. We had no idea, but yeah. So he basically sort of got it going for us. I mean, Brandy basically got us the deal, and the rest is history. We did 4 albums, including a best of, and toured all over the place, and
lots of number ones. Yeah, the Golden Guitar. You certainly set Australian country music alight.
What about them videos I've seen on YouTube with Big and Rich? That must have been awesome.
Yeah, that was bizarre, man. We were over there recording the album. I think it was a Heart of Tame album, and we just sort of hooked up through John through CMC Rock's The Hunter, and we met him through that. And then he said, "Do you want to come over and sing at my charity?" So obviously we were going to be over there doing the album. So we fixed it all up so the timing was right. And then we went over to sang at his house at a charity event. And then he took us out to see a band. I forget what the place is now, but he took us out to see a band out there. And then after we watched the band, he said, "Well, we're going to Wisconsin. Do you want to come?"
Jeez.
So he said, "Yeah, you can come and open for us." So we got on a bus that night.
Wow.
We were supposed to be doing a video clip with O'Shea the next day, and we had to call them and say, "We can't do it. We're going to Wisconsin with Big and Rich." So we went 12 hours we spent on that bus. We went to Wisconsin. I got up and did the gig with them, and then drove home. It was crazy.
You're going to want to get your cell phones out and record this, because this is the first time that these guys have played here in front of a crowd like this ever. You're going to want to film this, because I know look at that camera. We're filming everything. These guys are great. Ladies and gentlemen, McAlister Kemp.
All right, you guys. Ain't no bones about it. I come from a little town. I ain't going nowhere. My roots run deep down in the ground. Got me an honest job and a jacked up ride. I smoke tally holes, yeah, I'm the king of the simple life. Hey! I like to get loud and get down. I like to get off with my boots on. Fill your cup, raise it up. Drink to an old slim dusty song. Everybody from all around, show me your country, show me your country around, yeah. Ain't no doubt about it, ain't nothing like a country girl. When they come to party, they go hard and rock my world. And they get loud, get down, like going off with their boots on. When you cut, raise it up. Everybody from all around, show me your country, show me your country proud.
Okay, Wisconsin. Hands up, come on.
Get loud, get down. Come on. I like to get up, fill your cup, get loud, get down. I like to get out with my boots on. Fill your cup, raise it up, a drink to an old stem, that's his song. Get loud, get down. I like to get out with my boots on. Fill your cup, raise it up, a drink to an old stem, that's his song. Everybody from all around, show me your country. Everybody in every town, show me your country. Show me your country. I'm proud. Oh, country proud. Country proud.
Yeah, that would have been crazy times.
I remember talking to Troy, and he said 1 minute you're playing in front of thousands, and then you're sitting your bum on a stool at a pub in Belmont playing to a couple of schooner glasses. He said it was so surreal.
Oh man, it's just bizarre, and it's because our industry isn't real big over here. You never seem to be able to get enough runs on the board to do it, and do those big gigs all the time. You have to be able to be sustainable, and yeah, you're right. I remember coming back from CMC once, and then the next day I was in the corner of a pub and thinking, what just happened? It's just bizarre. I mean, it's certainly up and down, I tell you.
Well, I guess you've also had some, luck. I mean, Miranda Lambert got sick.
Yeah,
Alan Jackson.
that's right.
And you just go, sometimes
That's
you
right.
guys are just in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That was bizarre too. And then I think the next one was Billy Ray Cyrus couldn't do it or something, and that's kind of how we got our start at CMC. And we've been, I remember doing that one at Hunter Valley and people singing our songs back to us. It was quite surreal. But yeah, man, look, you got to take the good with the bad. It's simple as that. It's the highs and the lows. That is what music is all about, man. And I've had a lot of awesome gigs, and I've had a lot of luck, so I can't complain.
Yeah, yes, you then had the break, but at last year's Country Music Festival, you reformed, and it just went off huge in Tamworth.
Yeah, it did, absolutely. Yeah, we had a 6 year break, and then we just went off and did our own thing. I did a couple of albums with ABC, and then we just sort of, I guess that was something, an itch we had to scratch, you know what I mean? As I said, we were both solo for 20 years, before we even met each other. So it's not like we were in the duo for 20 years, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so we had to go off and do our thing, and that's kind of what we're doing now. And we got the reunion concert back together for Tamworth, and that went really, really well. And we had planned to do a few more shows this year, but obviously, you know what's happened there. So
thanks for thanks for chatting with us and giving us a little background. We're now going to we'll open the video vault and have a look at some hits from the past. So do you still keep a McAlister Kemp page up and running?
No, we actually haven't got anything. It all got taken down.
Sounds like that's your homework.
Yeah, I think we've got Instagram, and I think we've got Facebook. We don't have any website or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, we don't. Yeah, I can't. Oh no, we've definitely got Instagram. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But that's something we'll probably have to work on down the track if we get out of the back end of this when this is all over, mate.
Oh, we do a bit of broadcasting with another station in North Carolina, and they said to me, check this band out, this song, and it was Tats from McAlister Kemp, and he's just said, this is wild, and I said, mate, these boys have been out for a bit, but and so they were very excited about
rediscovering.
They've never seen
Yeah.
it. It's amazing when you send Australian music over to different platforms in America. We've got a couple of sites where they play a couple of our shows, and they just get amazed on the quality of the music of the Australian so-called independents. We try to stay with the independent labels. Yeah, so we do stay with the independent labels, but they were blown away by the quality.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. I mean, because we record. I mean, I've done lots of recordings here in Australia, and I've also done them in Nashville. But I think the quality of the stuff we release is, I think it's on par anywhere in the world. I think the reality of it is it's such a competitive market that our back catalogue of McAlister Kemp, all my albums, majority of the world's never heard them. That's a good thing because there's a chance down the road that hopefully this music will get to more people.
Yeah, for sure. And if we can push a couple your way, it'll be our pleasure.
Absolutely. Yeah, guys, I really appreciate the support.
And thanks, Drew. Once again, thanks for spending a little bit of extra time with us. We'll open the video vault and look at some McAlister Kemp classics.
And we'll get a couple. We'll get your song on, what you liked out of Black Sky.
Yep. And once again, thanks, Drew.
Yeah. Thank you, mate.
Yeah,
thanks, boys. See you later.
Thanks for your time, Drew.
Okay, bye.
Cheers.
It's Australian Radio Indie. Streaming live on the World Wide Web.
This is Steve, and Australian Radio Indie rocks my house and my neighborhood too.
Anyway, let's get a couple of their songs on, and then after that, we might have a further surprise for you. So,
well, I want to play Tats for sure.
Walking by winking, you think you know what I'm thinking. That's right, ma'am, I've been drinking. I have. No doubt you notice me staring. I usually ain't one for swearing, but damn, look at all you're wearing. Why you got them covered up? I bet they're big, I bet they're sweet. Bet you've been told there's something to see. Don't be shy, you should be proud. Shouldn't be scared just to whip them on out. I know they're hiding under all that. So come on, baby, show me your tats. Come on, baby. Most nights I wouldn't take it this far, but most nights I wouldn't be foolbarred. Cause most nights I'm working in this bar, picking on the guitar, smoking on a cigar. Let me guess, I bet you got roses, butterflies or ladybug toes, angel wings or a pistol smoking right there above your crack. I bet they're big, I bet they're sweet. Bet you've been told there's something to see. Don't be shy, you should be proud. Shouldn't be scared just to whip them on out. I know they're hiding under all that. So come on, baby, show me your tats. Show me, I know you wanna show me. I think you better show me your tats.
Show me. You got tats?
Have I got tats?
Yeah.
No,
I haven't got tats either.
So no, I saw a tattoo. I was in Tamworth once, and if I was ever going to get a tattoo, it was a dragon weaving its way through the clouds. And then I was in Japan, and I was in Japan for Hiroshima Day, and they were doing free tattoos.
Wow!
And I thought I'd love to get a little piece, the crane symbol. But
I was on YouTube the other day, and I seen a mate of mine a good mate of mine, Frank. G'day, Frank. Peace and love and everything out to you, my friend. Frank Collette. He actually got the best Darth Vader you've ever seen on his shoulder, and he live streamed the video while he was getting and he had a conversation with the. It was great stuff.
My son has got a lot of beautiful ink.
Wow, I really, I take my hat off to him, but I think I'll I get a lot of stuff cut off me, so I'll just keep my skin as white as I can.
Yeah, I think that's something that
we got similar form.
Well, similar upbringing, similar outdoors, and yeah. Anyway, let's get this music on.
Yeah, we'll do 2 or 3 McAlister camps.
McAlister camps.
Here they come.
Jukebox to shoot a game of pool. As far as I can tell, they're a really good band. I'm here for the tank tops, here for the brew. I'm the biggest fan of cold beer and hot women. I never ever get my limit. Long necks and short skirts, the place is swimming with cold beer and hot women. I don't care for the dartboard, ain't drunk enough to dance. I need something hotter than the buffalo wings. Out on the dance floor, one in each hand, 2 of my favorite things. Cold beer and hot women. I never ever get my limit. Long necks and short skirts, the place is swimming with cold beer and hot women. Yeah, I know what I like, and I know what I'd like tonight. Yeah, I know what I'd like tonight. I ain't here for the pokies to lay a bet down, to sing the karaoke or to pick me a fight. I'm in for a good time out on the town, and all I need tonight is cold beer, oh, and hot women. I never ever get my limit. Long necks and short skirts, the place is swimming in cold beer and hot women. Cold beer, oh, and hot women. I never ever get my limit. Long necks and short skirts, the place is swimming with cold beer and hot women. Cold beer and hot women. Oh, cold beer and hot women. I've been on the road with Willie. With cash, I walk the line. Work 9 to 5 with Dolly. Crazy with Patsy Cline. Learned to fly with Mr. Petty. Down and out with George Strait. Went out gambling with Kenny. Set the woods on fire with Hank. Wound up in the jailhouse, rocking with the king. But I live to fight another day. So can we get a hey y'all? Hey y'all, seeds are sown deep inside our stereo. The songs that make us country. Hey y'all everywhere, raise your hands up in the air. The songs that make us country. Campbell, Black on Pack with Waylon J. I rode the Freedom Train with Haggard, Song Baboon with Fogarty, digging up bones with Randy Travis, lost and found with B&D, closed up the honky tonks with Dwight, got horses drunk with Toby Keith. Then I went way down yonder in the Chattahoochee, skiing in my jeans with Jackson. So can we get a hey y'all? Hey y'all, seeds are sown deep inside our stereo. The songs that make us country. Hey y'all everywhere, raise your hands up in the air. The songs that make us country. The country. Hey, y'all everywhere, raise your hands up in the air. The songs that make us. Hey, y'all, sing a song deep inside our stereo. The songs that make us country. Hey, y'all everywhere, raise your hands up in the air. The songs that make us country.
Australian Radio Indie, streaming Australian music on the World Wide Web.
Hello out there in Radio Land, this is Troy Kemp and you're listening to Jonesy.
If you've ever hit the gravel or a tent peg with a hammer, if you got a lucky horseshoe hidden somewhere in your ring, if you like some good old lucky number 7 in your drink, you might be a little more country than you think. A little more backwoods, dirt road, dust there on the chrome. A little more front porch, rope swing, Dixie cup down home. If you like to watch the sunrise and watch the sunset sing, you might be a little more country than you think. That's right, man. Ball cap backwards and like some fade there in your jeans. If you take your chicken deep fried with a side of black-eyed peas, if you've ever skimmed a rock or thrown a line into a creek, if you ever slip in, hey, all you all, when you speak, you might be a little more country than you think. A little more backwoods, dirt road, dust there on the chrome. A little more front porch, rope swing, Dixie cup down home. If you had to choose one and you chose Taylor over Pitt, you might be a little more country than you think. A little more country
that's a great song, A Little More Country. I love that song.
I love the film clip too, how he's in that lovely ute and they're driving around in different locations and having a great time.
Well, we might get Troy on the line. Have we got Troy there?
Hello, Troy speaking.
Troy, it's Dingo and Jonesy. How you going, mate?
There you go, Troy.
Good, Dingo. How you going, man?
All right.
Hey, Jonesy, how are you, boys?
Yeah, great, mate. We're the magic of
Good day, guys. How are we? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Troy, welcome to Australian Radio Indie. Jonesy and I just opened up the Video Vault back catalogue and we were watching and sharing with our audience your outstanding video release, A Little More Country. Now, I'm just going to put it out there. That video would have been right at home in these COVID lockdown times with you getting Australian country artists and groups to help you out. For those who are just listening in, make sure you check out A Little More Country by Troy Kemp on YouTube. And here's a heads up. Write down the names of the artists as they appear and then check each of them out. There's some great Aussie country talent in that video. Great idea. You were just ahead of your times there, mate.
Mate, yeah, well, I was just basically trying to, just because I'm a cheapskate, I was just trying to think of a nice, easy way to do a video clip, And, I pretty much self-produced the album Against the Grain that A Little More Country, appeared on. And when it came to doing the video, I just thought, given that it's all about, it's pretty much a song that I guess a city person, a country person would sort of play to a city person and say, if you think you're not a country fan, well, maybe you are. Listen to these lyrics and maybe tell me then if you're not a country fan. Then I thought, what a better way to tell it than actually to not only hear it from me, but from all the people that are, Country Music Australia. So I sort of roped as many country artists from Australia in as I could that wanted to be in it. And they all sent me their little snippet of a line or two from the song. And it all came together. And myself and my wife, Alicia, put it together on a program called Final Cut Pro in my office at home. And we submitted it to CMC back in the day when it existed, and lo and behold, they played it. So grateful for that, and I still are really glad I did that video. It was a lot of fun, and really grateful that all my friends helped me out with it. And guys, I've seen that one appear, on the big screen in Tamworth and in the park, on the big concerts there. They always almost become a bit of a country music anthem with the artists in it as well, because they can put it up on the big screen and all the country fans get to see all the artists as well. So. Yeah, I think it was a good sort of, like you said, it might have been an idea ahead of its time, but I'm always trying to stay ahead of the game, so I'm glad it worked.
Yeah, hey, Troy, Jonesy here, mate. I remember you were playing.
Hey, mate.
Yeah, how are you? Great to get you on
Good,
the line,
get
you back on the station. I remember you playing that live locally when you were out doing your local stuff around Newcastle, and you'd ask that question into the crowd, and you know what? Half the people said, you know what? I do feel like that's my style. So I remember that. I think you were at Swansea one week. We seen you, and you sort of asked that question. And the whole crowd was going, you know what? I think I'm a little more country.
You can't not be country.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're talking.
Well, that's right. I mean, and that's it. I mean, yep.
Yeah, I got my baseball cap on.
Yeah, well,
it goes backwards now and again.
Yeah. So we're talking to Troy Kemp about his new release soundtrack. Where are you sitting in this big old COVID-restricted world at the moment, Troy?
Well, guys, as you may know, I'm pretty sure you do know, obviously, because you've just run me there. But yeah, I'm currently sitting in an apartment right now in Nashville. It is, oh my God, it's 10 past 10 at night on a Thursday night here, and it's been it's really weird times, guys. I moved over here 5 months ago with my wife after a 2-year green card permanent resident application, a visa to live in America, so I could come and have a shot at Nashville with my music. And after 2 long years and lots of roadblocks along the way, with immigration being shut down and my application going on the pile for a year, and in the meantime, I'm selling 2 cars and a house and a photo booth business, and my wife is wrapping up a hairdressing business, and we're trying to save money to pay for it all. And I think $20,000 later, we'd sort of paid for our application to move here, and We got our final approval in March this year, which is really exciting. And that night, a tornado hit Nashville and ripped half the town apart.
Wow.
So we're like, oh my God, we're moving there.
Yeah.
So that was kind of just really, our parents are ringing us going, what, you guys are going to move there? And we're like, well, apparently. But that was a bit horrible. We booked a flight. We booked our flight for the 24th of March. Really excited to be getting on a plane finally after 2 years, only to have COVID hit a week before we flew out. So our flight was cancelled. And then we basically had a temporary visa in our passport saying that we needed to be out of the country by the middle of July, or our whole application was going to be nil and void and we wouldn't get there. So we had to apply to the Australian government. After 2 attempts, with the Department of Home Affairs, 2 massive applications, lots of paperwork, we were allowed to leave the country during a pandemic. So we flew 31 hours across the world in a face mask, 3 flights, empty airports, empty planes. It was the most eerie experience I've ever had. And, we arrived at an empty Nashville airport and got picked up by some friends. And, 6 months later, we've now got our own apartment and a little car, and we're slowly getting set up, and we're making some great new friends. And Nashville's still pretty much closed down. Music Row's like a ghost town. There's no record companies or publishing places open. Just starting to pick up a few acoustic gigs in like a local restaurant chain called Puckett's, where I'm playing for tips, which is a different world to me because I'm just used to being in a bar in Australia and getting paid. It's been a really bizarre experience, but I'm still working hard at my music, and I'm still trying to use this time productively and getting new songs together. So when the world does reopen and hopefully go back to normal over here at some point soon, I'll be ready to hit it. So working hard, and I think it's given me a really good time to reflect on everything I've done and everything I want to do and which way I want to head as an artist, and just sort of work it all out. And I'm meeting some great songwriters over here and having some great songwriting sessions. I've met a great young producer named Ben Flanders, who's helping with my music and my production of my songs, and hope to sort of do more with him in the next few months. And my wife's just finally, after a couple of months of having to go back to school to be a hairdresser, even though she's been a hairdresser for 15 years in Australia, she had to get a Tennessee cosmetology license to be able to be a hairdresser over here. So she's had to go back like she's at TAFE and learn all this stuff again, which has just been so stressful for her. But I can happily say she passed the final exam last week, and she can now start in a salon at the start of November. She's found a nice little salon to work in, and that's going to be great because trust me, we need the money right now. It's been really been a hard time for us. I've been surviving off doing these Facebook live streams every 2 weeks and asking people to give me virtual tips, on a virtual tip jar. Whilst that's embarrassing, it's the only thing I could do to really to pay the rent over here and can stay afloat. So I've been really fortunate that more so my friends back in Australia and people that follow me back there have been really helpful, and a lot of gratitude to these people and big thank yous from us because they've really kept us afloat. So, but yeah, anyway, it's good times now, and I finally got a new song out, so I'm really excited about that. And I shall shut up and let you guys talk. Go.
No, well, I was just you stole all my
What a story!
What a story! I mean, and in 5 years' time, you're going to put this down as an adventure. You'll just go, the passage of time, you'll go, we could do that again anytime. Anyway, while Troy Kemp is a household name in the Australian country music scene, many of our overseas listeners may be asking what's Troy Kemp's background. So let's have a quick recap. With multiple Australian country chart and CMC number ones, a golden guitar, 3 CMC awards, 3 People's Choice Awards, and almost a decade of touring under your belt. Well, that probably doesn't count into that decade before you were doing lots and stuff. Troy is one of Australia's most recognisable, fun and entertaining country music talents. As one half of the award-winning duo McAlister Kemp, he achieved recognition and accolades both locally and internationally, headlining some of the nation's biggest music festivals, and was a mainstay on country radio and television charts for a long, long time. With McAlister Kemp folding in 2005, he moved on to a successful career as a solo artist, not only a solo artist, but as an in-demand songwriter and co-writer.
Did you say 2005, McAlister?
No, 2000. No, I'm sorry. 2015. Did I get that wrong again?
You did.
Anyway, and sometimes I get it wrong. But I guess you look at, with these COVID and lots of people streaming music at the moment, you're watching these people. I wrote this song with Troy Kemp. I co-wrote this song with Troy Kemp. So there's a lot of people on the Central Coast who've co-written songs with yourself. Anyway, your 2015 solo album, Against the Grain, saw first two video singles. They made their way to number one spot. That's How We Roll Around Here, and Small Town Girl hit number one in the Australian top country radio charts. You named Planet Country Radio Awards, Male Artist and Australian Artist of the Year. You've been fan voted so many times, and what's happened? 2018, you and Damo set up the Tailgate Drive. Following year, you and Jane with Denham on Hung Up on You. You just had so much fun.
I got to get him to take a breath every now and again when he reads bios. He gets so excited.
Anyway, we watched Beach Mode last week or so, and you have a dedicated fan base not only on the Central Coast but the Hunter, and not only around here but Australia-wide. And Jonesy and I generally didn't have to travel too far from home to enjoy a great afternoon of music. Now, here's the tricky question. Very impressive background. You've got a golden guitar. Did it make it to Nashville, or is it safely stored in Australia?
Good question, mate. Yeah, I was as much as I would have liked to have bring not in the golden guitar but my other awards over with me. They've all got pride of place in a box in my dad's garage right now. So back in Port Macquarie in Australia. So I've said, you look after those, man, and we'll put them out in the shelves and pretend they're yours.
I thought,
because I just didn't have
the luggage allowance.
What's that?
You didn't have the luggage allowance for all the awards.
There was a luggage allowance, that they're actually, all of these awards are so heavy, they're way heavier than they think they are. Like, they hand them to you on stage, and man, it's like holding like a weight, like in the gym. They're quite heavy, you got to stand there and but no, they didn't make it, but I'm very proud to have won those awards. And like I said, they're safe at Dad's house, and if I ever get back to look at them, I definitely will. It means a lot to have won a golden guitar. But yeah, man. Well, I did have plans to get back this year, as you guys know, with to do some stuff with Drew.
Yep.
And we were looking forward to doing some, because we did obviously talk with McAlister Camp. Yeah, we were doing we did Tamworth this year. We had a really successful time up there this year, and it was a lot of fun to be back doing a show with him. And so we planned to do more later this year, and we had groundwater and Deniliquin Ute Must and a few other things in the pipeline that they all fell over due to COVID. And I just hope that, the things that are in the pipeline for us next year back in Australia happen. I'm not personally in a rush to come back and do two weeks in what do you call it? Isolation.
Yeah.
Quarantine, yeah. So I'm just hope the world sort of gets back to some sort of normality at some point so I can come home and not have to do that, because that's something we now have to pay for ourselves. So to look at doing that, it was going to cost us at least $5 or $6 apparently. So I don't want to do it.
No, not.
No. We're not even allowed to leave the country.
Yeah.
At least you got out.
Yeah. Anyways.
I know. I mean, I was really lucky. I was lucky to get out. I tell you what, though, guys. I mean, I've literally hit Nashville in the worst time in the history of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a really weird town right now. There's a lot of musicians have left town. There's other musicians just scraping around trying to do what they can. People are doing as much as they can online, as you guys would be aware, and it's a hard time to be a musician, and it's when you live and breathe it.
Yeah.
It's really stressful, It's like, how am I going to pay the rent this month? You know what I mean? And we're in a nice apartment, and like I said, but it becomes we pay our rent on the first of every month. So once it's paid, then we start the grind again to pay for the next month. What are we going to do this month to make that money? You know what I mean? So,
right.
Well, let's talk about your recent song, and fingers crossed we get some positivity and some money in your pocket. Soundtrack is your current release, and is an upbeat anthem to love, to new love, told through modern country song titles. Can you tell our audience about the story of how Soundtrack came to be? Yeah,
but mate, well, this one was born out of out of COVID. I was in the last 2 months of being in Australia. I was living. We'd sold everything, and we're living at Alicia's mum's house all day, every day, and just never left. So I I'd sit down all day, every day with my guitar, and I just come up with this little guitar riff that I like. Dun, 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 and I'm thinking, that's pretty cool. So I thought it needed some good lyrics, and I started writing a song about, hey boys, let's get the girls around, have a party, grab the beers, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, no, that's just shit. I've done that 1,000 times. I'm not doing that. So I need to take a different tack here. So, I started looking through some song titles I'd written down in my phone in notes, and I saw the word soundtrack, and I'm like, okay, so what's that about? So I started thinking, here I go. I've done so much co-writing over the last, 5 to 10 years. I thought, still write my own songs all the time, but I really thought this could be something cool. So I had this idea, maybe I should try and write a song using country music song titles to tell a story of a young love. And essentially all those song titles tell the story, but they're also the soundtrack, all the songs that this couple listen to in their life. So I thought that was a cool idea. So then I jumped onto Google and started Googling all my favorite country artists or, big songs of, the last sort of 5 to 10 years, and ended up just writing down some of the titles I liked and then trying to get them in order, and then started to try and create a song. So it's like dive bar, beer money, a little bit of chicken fried. That was my first line. It's like, okay, so I need something that rhymes with fried. So I got a girl crush on a homegrown honey. I've got one thing right. Okay, that's cool. So I was just literally nutting it out line by line, just thinking, how am I going to do this? But try and tell the story of this guy falling for this chick. And lo and behold, I got to the end, and I'd managed to squeeze in 36 song titles. I got Morgan Evans and Keith Urban in there. Yeah. They say diamonds are forever, and I've been waiting on somebody like you. So I got the boys back to back in the bridge section of the song. So I was happy to pay a bit of a tribute to the Aussie boys as well. But essentially, I was really, really happy with the way it came out. And when I got to Nashville, I sort of went into the studio with my buddy Ben over here that I'm recording with, and played him a few songs. And he said, I really like that soundtrack one. I said, well, that's cool, man, because it's kind of my favorite as well. So we recorded it. It hit the world last week, released, and thus far it seems to be being received really well. And I think we're about 15,000 streams on Spotify already in a week, and lots of positive comments coming at me through Messenger and through the socials, and really happy and appreciate you guys having me on today to talk about it. So thank you so much. I'm really excited to have a song out that I wrote by myself for the first time in a long time, and I really feel it could be a really cool, fun, summery country anthem. I feel like it's got, with all those song titles in it, I feel like it could be the sort of song they could play between bands at a festival, and everyone would just be rocking out to it, getting pumped on it, So I hope those types of things happen for that song.
Yeah, well, I think you did something similar with Jeremy Barnes in Songs That Make Us Country with McAlister Kemp with the song titles. And you just stole one of my questions, because I was going to say, how many song titles are hidden in plain sight in that song? And 36. I'll now have to go home and make sure I get all 36, because I like doing things like that.
He's fussy. Yeah.
Please do. And if you do, man, send me the list. I want you to send me the list of every song and every artist.
Yeah, well, some of them are going. Yeah, and I was one of those crazy people. I played every.
You was.
Well, I played every song from Songs That Make Us Country one night when I was on a former radio station. So anyway,
you did too. I remember you doing that. Thank you.
Yeah, so I will have to go home and see. Because I started. I've listened to it a few times, and it wasn't until I'm going, the penny just dropped. I now know what he's looking to do. Because I was just listening to it as music, not listening to the cleverness of your songwriting. So you're a very, very clever man.
Yeah,
thank you, mate. I appreciate that. No, it was a real challenge. It was a lot of fun to do it, and I don't know what to expect or what it's going to do, but I just like to put these things out as fun, and just see if it sticks, But like I said, so far it's been well received, and if you wanted to cheat, mate, actually, what I've done, and this is an idea that my wife came up with. She said, "Why don't you create a playlist on Spotify called Our Soundtrack?" So essentially, it's got my song at the top, and then the 36 songs that I mentioned are in the song. They're all actually they're all in the playlist as well. So I've sort of shared that link on Facebook so people can go and downlist the soundtrack playlist, which has got my song plus all the songs that are mentioned in the song. So I feel like that was a cool idea, and just another little quirky thing to do with it, So hopefully people will get on and check it out.
Well, perhaps we should get you to tell us where people can find out more information about yourself and your music.
Perfect, man. Thank you. I guess all things Troy Kemp, you can just go straight to troykempofficial.com, and from there you can get to my Facebook, my Instagram, my Spotify, my Apple Music. It's all, there's just links on there to get to everything. So Troy Kemp Official. But if you wanted just to go straight to Instagram or Facebook, just look up Troy Kemp Music. Pretty much across the board, you'll find me at all the different social platforms. So that'd be that, guys. And I just hope people get out and sort of keep listening to Spotify and my other songs, and hopefully just keep trying to build this thing. And I think as a goal, I'm just going to try and put out, I've just come to realise that we're living in a very singles-driven, musical world right now. So, and I think it's important to keep songs coming out, regularly. So, and Soundtrack's the first song I've had out in about probably 16 or 17 months. So I was well overdue. So it's kind of cool, and I think I'm going to try to get something out now at least every 2 or 3 months. I'm already working on the next song, and it's almost done. It should be finished this week, and it'll come out mid-December. Nice. So hopefully I can get on with you guys again and we can have a bit more fun.
Oh, yeah, you just stolen all of my questions because I was about to say what's next in the pipeline. You've done that anyway. Anyway, we've been talking to Troy Kemp. We better let you get to bed. We've been talking to Troy Kemp about his brand new single Soundtrack release this week. Head over to your music delivery service and give it and Troy's back catalogue some love and attention, and there are some great songs there. You won't be disappointed. Visit his social media, buy some of his musical, sign up, become a member of the Kemp crew so you can keep up to date. Troy, thanks for chatting with Australian Radio Indie.
The Kemp crew. I didn't know that one.
Yeah, well, it's Kemp crew with a K.
The Kempy crew.
Oh,
the Kempy crew, yeah. Geez,
I'm a member of the Drew crew. I haven't joined the Kemp crew yet.
Yeah, Kempy crew. Anyway, thanks for...
Hey, you guys spoke with Drew tonight, yeah? He's doing all right?
Yeah, he's doing well. He was just telling us he's got an 8-week or 12-week old pup, and he said that you guys have been doing stuff on Zoom, so we probably
writing some new material.
Yeah, so he was sounding good.
You got it.
Yeah,
and both of you are lovely, great country artists, iconic Australians, and fantastic. This show too will go out into a station in North Carolina, so we'll try to get them to give you a bit of a push along at their station as well. I'll send your back catalogue to them if you don't mind. You don't mind me sending
that? Would be amazing, thank you.
Yeah, well, I'll sort that out this week for you. And
I'd love that, yeah.
Yeah, well.
Hey, they've got a good room there too that they do a few bookings in at Weldon Mills Distillery, I think it's called.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, they get a country.
Well, guys, we need to hook that up on. Yeah, that would be good. I need to get out there and see those guys. Actually, my next song that I'm putting out is called "Like a Hit to Me," and I say. And like the high we got from that Carolina tea, you still feel like a hit to me. So there you go.
Right. There you go.
I think they could like that.
They could like that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's tee that up.
That's a good thing.
Anyway, Troy, thanks for chatting
with
us.
Thank you.
And we look forward to more great music from you. Good luck. Bye for now. Say hi to Alicia. Stay safe, and I'll get you to introduce your latest and fantastic single, Soundtrack.
Okay, well, guys, firstly, straight up, Dingo, Jonesy, love you guys. Thank you for having me on today. I had an absolute blast, and I appreciate it. Guys, thanks for listening today. This is Troy Kemp, and here's my brand new single, Soundtrack.
Dive bar, beer money, and a little bit of chicken fried. I'm calling dibs on a pretty homegrown honey. I got one thing right, and I want whatever she's got. A long slow dance in a parking lot. You don't need to get hooked on me, but it'd sure be cool if you did. This is our soundtrack. Fix your drink and we back. Yeah, tequila, whiskey glasses, and beer never broke my heart. This is how we roll and rock your body like a back road. In my blue Tacoma knocking boots, and just like that, this is our soundtrack. It's a 6-foot town. It's a merry-go-round. You can't be the one that got away. If you're keen to keep them kisses coming, I'll grab that hotel key, and I'll bless the broken road. Could be the greatest love story that was ever told. If I get you to that little white church, gonna die a happy man. This is our soundtrack. Fix your drink and we back. Yeah, tequila, whiskey glasses, and beer never broke my heart. This is how we roll and rock your body like a back road. In my blue Tacoma knocking boots, and just like that, this is our soundtrack. They say diamonds are forever. I've been waiting on somebody like you. In case you didn't know, girl, your name would be a good tattoo, yeah. This is our soundtrack. Fix your drink and we back. Yeah, tequila, whiskey glasses, and beer never broke my heart. This is how we roll and rock your body like a back road. In my blue Tacoma knocking boots, in your ball cap. I'm a free and easy small town boy in a cowboy hat. And this is our soundtrack. Dive bar, beer money, and a little bit of chicken fried.
Oh, that was a great interview with Troy Kemp.
Wow, I'm glad we had the opportunity to get into the phone lines all the way to Nashville. That was fantastic.
Oh, he likes to have a chat, doesn't he?
We've been good friends of his for a long time, actually.
We have.
We've been following his.
It was just like a family catch up.
It was actually, and lovely for him to say, let's do it all again very soon. So
yeah.
We'll definitely follow the life and times, and I'll put a link in the thing, but go to Troy Kemp's social media, and when he does his live streams every fortnight, get on board, enjoy some music, and if you can put some money in the tip jar, I'm sure you'll appreciate it.
Yeah, and that's a few artists are still doing that, and they're not doing it. I guess they're doing it because they can't be out there playing live and being paid.
Most of the Australian acts, if for one way or another, if they can't earn an income, there is the government. You can step back to the government. They've got the JobKeeper and.
Yep.
But in Nashville, he hasn't got any of that, so he's there on his Pat Malone. So
dig deep.
We might even do something from the station just to put a smile on his dial.
Yeah,
I'll sort that out later today.
Anyway, well, Jonesy, it's getting towards the end of the show, and
the end of the show. Oh, what we haven't done.
What haven't we done?
We haven't done the clothing attire, which I'm very casual myself today, actually. The only thing new I've got on is this...
you got a new hat.
Yeah, lovely new hat from their fantastic band, The Odd Collective.
ALT.
ALT, yeah. You know why you went ALT?
I think we discussed this before.
We did on podcast number 1.
Because there was another group that was already called The Odd Collective.
There was a group called The Odd Collective, and he had to go... ALT for Andy Leask Townsend.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. I mean, I just thought it was alt as in alternative to the
alternative. Oh, let me just... I'll grab camera number 2. That's on. Look out. So if I can... Yeah, I'll just sort of film myself for a sec and I'll look like a goose. And there you go. That's the new hat from... If you want a hat from... The Odd Collective, hit him up. He's got him on the merch section of his thing. Of his social media page, but this is very awkward actually with I'll go to camera number 1.
Yes.
All right. And now we're going to go back to camera number 2 as we're inside today doing the podcast, and we've got the Dingo and his fantastic attire. What can you tell us about?
This is my chili shirt, Hot Chilies.
Hot Chilies? Hot chilies, you've got the green peppers, is it? Or they're green chilies? They're all chilies.
Yeah, green chilies, red chilies. I saw this shirt and I thought
you had to have it.
Had to have this shirt.
Well, we've got a bit of light coming in through the glass, but we'll just have a look at that. And the hat, what have we got today?
Well,
Galley slave.
Galley slave. It's that time of the year where I guess Australian men do what Australian men do, and that is step outside, give the give the little lady a break from now. Give the little lady a break from kitchen duties.
Camera number.
And fire up the barbecue. So I noticed that you've got the new barbecue delivered.
Oh, the Matador Conquest 4.
And I just thought, well,
getting ready for the festive season.
Yeah, I've had the barbecue going for maybe a month or more. But then again, it doesn't really matter because I do the cooking at home anyway. So
you're the chef.
I'm the chef.
Man, well, you're in the right place.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing the Matador Conquest 4 put together over the next... I looked
6 months.
I looked at the manual for that, Jonesy, and there is a lot of work to be done. So,
well, yeah, I've been busy out the back getting the outdoor studio set up so we can have a barbecue when we like, and we've got another nice, comfortable lounge and maybe the
Australian Radio Indie Barbecue.
Yeah, and the Australian Radio Indie Outdoor. We've actually been told by somebody that was listening. It was Gary, who's on the Gold Coast. He said, "Why don't you name your outdoor studio the Wild Birds Studio?" That's hard to say 3 times fast.
Wild Bird Studio, Wild Bird Studio, Wild Bird Studio. Yeah.
Well, good for you. I'll give you a lolly. Or a can of Coke, whatever you want.
Candy from strangers.
It is coming up to that time of year.
Yeah, it is.
Actually. This will come out on a Friday, which will be probably... What date have we got? Well, we won't go numbers, but we're not far from it.
No, we're not far from Halloween. Not far. But
Halloween. God, do people still...
Well, they do, but I think this year it's a big lockdown thing, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. Not that I'm a big fan of Halloween myself.
No, it's sort of anyway, years ago it used to be it's an American thing, and
it's taking off in Australia.
Well, my grandson got me onto it. Kobe, how old's he now? He's going to high school next year, so what does that make him?
How can he be going to high school? I can remember you used to show me photos of you taking him to soccer when he was a little tyke.
Yeah, and but time flies, mate. Jeez. That was when we were in the country at the other radio station, which we shall not name.
Yeah. Anyway, what about we do? Thanks for sharing.
Hi to all our friends out there at that other station anyway.
Yeah.
And you're watching this because we play quality music and we have quality interviews. How's that?
Anyway, thanks for sharing a part of your week with us. Trust you enjoy the music. Check out this week's artists online and give them some love. Just to recap, we had Drew McAlister with Black Sky.
Great guy.
Latest release, When This Is All Over, Until Summer Slips Away. McAlister Kemp. Well, we're just going to mix that up a little bit.
So we got some of our favourites.
And Troy Kemp with a little more country and his new release soundtrack. Follow them on social media, stream them, let them know you heard them on Australian Radio Indie. We'll be back next week with a fresh playlist. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a comment. Support Australian Radio Indie TV. Support Tony and Tim at What's Happening Entertainment.
What's Happening Entertainment Radio. And if you tune in to What's Happening Entertainment Radio at Australian Eastern Daylight Time, tune in at 9 a.m. and you'll hear the Dingo or Jonesy, or maybe just Jonesy by himself, but we're getting played in their prime time, which is 6 p.m. there is our 9 p.m. at 9 a.m. here.
And that's about, speaking of that'll all change in the next week or so because
they're getting daylight savings.
They lose daylight saving. So
golly gosh.
Yeah, we'll have to get
crikey, as they say in the classics. What else can we say? Give me a clanger Australian term. They love them.
Stone the crows.
Stone the crows and
what's up, Skip?
What's up, Skip? The helicopter? Did you say the helicopter?
Anyway, if it's safe where you live, go out and see a gig and don't forget to buy some merch. Be kind to each other.
Sonny said what?
Be kind to each other. Stay safe. Have a wonderful week. Listen to some new music. See you again soon. Jonesy, peace and love.
Peace and love to all our friends and our listeners. And we grew another 6 or 7 subscribers this week, which was fabulous. A few joined and a couple left. So that really... I don't know why, but anyway, it's great to see people are enjoying the music and the show.
Anyway, bye for now.
Okay, thanks everybody again. We're going to do this again. I'm going to make you do it twice. This is Australian Radio Indies podcast music scene number 7.
Number 7, yeah. So that's 7 in the can.
7 in the can, well, mate.
It'll be 8 on the plate next week.
8 on the plate. What are you cooking? Good looking?
Yeah. Told you, it's the hat.
Come early. I'll have that barbecue sizzling and we'll do an outdoor one. Hopefully we had a bit of noise outside today, so that's why we're on the inside studio. Thanks everyone again. Peace and love, and check you all next week.
Bye. Bye for now.
Like the drone footage or what? Right now we're flying above the entrance. We're going down the channel. Check the water out there. Do you like that? Absolutely sensational.
Sensational.
And the beach. Let's hope they dredge the... hey, what about the council?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for another story.
Until summer slips away.
Ooh.
Do you like that? We might play that last.
Actually, let's do that one more time. And we're going to go out this week on the episode 7 podcast Australian Radio ARI Music Scene podcast number 7. We've just completed. And we've got one more song to go out with let's go out lovely and quietly with...
Yeah, the Drew McAlister song, Till Summer Slips Away. Watch the video clip. This was a real fun one to make.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Here's Drew.
Oh, what a bloody banger! Bringing us in on a Sunday morning. Now we are coming to the end of summer, only gloomy days ahead. Don't forget now, you're listening to 4KQ. This is Drew McAlister with Summer Swooping Away. Tom, come over, man.
Now?
Yeah, now summer's ending.
A cold beer, a glass of wine, ain't nothing like summertime. The days are long and the nights are hot. Yeah, Papa Top. 10 lines of cut-off jeans, a cold Corona and a melody. Nothing to do and all day to do it. We best get to it. Turn that radio up loud, listen to that sweet, sweet sound. Whoa. Hanging out at my favorite bar, down the beach on the river, or playing my guitar. And we got memories to make. We're gonna make the most of these days before summer slips away. Whoa. But chilling out, 35 degrees, a JD and a little Bacardi, flames lighting up a red sunset. I'm working on getting laid back. Zach Brown playing in the background, summertime high, and we never wanna come down. We got all night to do it. Well, we best get to it. Turn that radio up loud, listen to that sweet, sweet sound. Whoa. Hanging out at my favorite bar, down the beach on the river, or playing my guitar. Whoa. And we got memories to make. We're gonna make the most of these days
Australian Radio. Indie.